clients, it's Diane Kaiser, and I'm sure you guys got your box from Genova, and that's what this whole thing is going to be about. So this is just video one. This is going to be a blanket. Now that you have your box, and you may have one lab, you may have multiple, but sometimes it's intimidating. You've got all these boxes, what do I do with them? So this instructional video is just going to cover what to do with each one of them, and then I'm going to go through each separate video for each individual kit and how to do those individually. But these instructions in this video apply to each and every one of them. So first and foremost, if you're on any medications, don't stop. I'm not a doctor. I can't tell you to stop taking any medications. If in doubt, if you're wondering if being on these medications is going to trump the test, when in doubt, call Genova. The phone number is going to be listed on the very bottom of each of the requisition forms that you're going to get in each one of the individual kits. So on the bottom, there's going to be a phone number. They are available between 8 o'clock and 6:30 Eastern time. So what that translates to Eastern time is 5 o'clock till 3:30 Pacific time. So they're always available. I've got client meetings and I'm teaching yoga. I'm back and forth all day long. So if you guys have an urgent question that needs to be handled ASAP and you're getting ready to go into the lab or you're at the lab, call that 1-800 number. They're always the best number to call anyway, because sometimes there's going to be a couple days lag if you ask me the question. So don't stop taking any medications. However, for each individual lab test you're going to get, it does say that if you're on things like corticosteroids, or if you're taking some kind of inhalants, if you're on, maybe if you're on antibiotics, and it's probably not a good thing for you to take that test at that time, wait until you're off of them. So we're not telling you to get off anything, just call the 800 number if you're in question. That's number one. Number two, so I already talked about the times, and ship the box back the same way that it came. So you're going to get individual boxes for each one of these things. There's going to be bags inside of it. There's going to be collection bags where you're going to put the samples. There's going to be a box where you're going to put all the things back into. Then there's going to be a FedEx bag. So you always want to make sure that you ship everything securely in the styrofoam. Some of them are going to have freezer blocks. Those need to be frozen overnight for 8 hours. So really pay attention to the instructions. And the labs I'm going to give you guys individual instructions for, I'm going to tell you which ones have blocks and which ones don't, which specimens you'll need to freeze, which ones you need to refrigerate, etc. You'll always want to make sure that you're going to collect these things between Monday and Friday. And if you guys send them out on Friday, you want to make sure that the FedEx collection gets them so they can get into the lab overnight. You don't want to miss that point, because otherwise the collections are going to go bad and they're going to get them on Monday, and you're spending money on these labs. You want them to be accurate. So that's that. So the labs that you're going to, you're not going to go to just any lab. You know, if you go to Quest or if you go to LabCorp, they're probably going to turn you away. These labs they don't take, these are outside of your doctor's and your physician's orders. So you're going to want to make sure that either you contact Genova, that 1-800 number on these on the bottom of these forms, and ask them the closest location to you that's convenient for you, where you can get these labs done. Then you'll call that lab, and you want to make sure that you know what hours that they are open. They take breaks for lunch. They also have a cutoff for, again, when FedEx comes to collect. So you'll want to make sure you go in there no later than that FedEx time. You don't have to normally schedule an appointment for these places. Typically a blood draw is about $30 each time. So just know that these labs are open. If you're in Orange County or Southern California, Los Angeles, San Diego, etc., I have provided to you on the very initial email I sent to you with the intake forms and getting started. That has an attachment in there, and also a link for the labs that I think that you guys should go to, West Pacific Laboratories. They have a whole bunch of different locations. Phone numbers are going to be listed on those specific locations that are closest to you. You'll want to call them, make sure they're A, still open, and B, that you know what their hours are. So those are two things you'll want to make sure with the labs. The other things that are very important is that for each and every one of these kits that you guys send back, get your insurance card, copy the front, copy the back, include that in each one of these kits, put it in the box with everything else, and occasionally these things are going to come with questionnaires with each one of these kits. Make sure you complete the questionnaires, make sure that you go over the instructions adequately. It's not rocket science, so that the videos will help walk you through these things. Just follow all the instructions. You're going to get things in the first email, again, that I send to you. It's going to have ICD-9 codes and the price of each kit that you're responsible for, given that you have insurance. So all you're going to do with that information, if it's not already pre-filled, you just want to make sure that it's going to be, double check that it is pre-filled. I have already submitted for most of you guys, and sometimes this gets missed, so just double check. When you see this information on the front of the requisition form, it'll ask you either my name or another doctor's name. Check off my name if there's an option to check off Diane Kaiser. Otherwise, skip beyond the physician's signature. You don't need a signature there. you want to make sure that Easy Pay bill insurance is checked off. Then under here, other ICD-9 code, that's where your ICD-9 code is going to be, where you're going to write it in from the email I sent to you for each specific lab. Now, if it's already written in there for you, just skip over it, make sure that this next thing is checked off. These things should be checked off for you, and I'm going to show you for each one individual kit what this looks like, what things should be checked off. And then on the back, there's going to be information. This stuff should be pre-filled, but if it's not, just include your information. If it's someone else this lab is being drawn for, if I'm doing this for, like, if you have a child and you're the parent and you're filling this information out, you fill out your information there with their information on top. Make sure that you include all this information here for insurance information. Make sure the cost is listed there. If you have a check that you're enclosing, make sure that's enclosed. And make sure you have the amount written down there as well. Sign it. That's it for the requisition form. Let me make sure I didn't go skip anything else. Oh, last thing is, for each one of these kits, there's going to be instructions that you don't want to be on specific supplements for quite a few days. So I just say, you know, most of my clients and patients are doing this, and they're doing like 4 labs all at one time. You know, that's what most of my clients are doing. So if you're doing all 4 of them, get them all done in 1 week, because for the most part, you'll want to be off supplements, you know, all the supplements that you might be on, probiotics, enzymes, antifungals, even multivitamins, and even protein shakes. They have a lot of amino acids and things like that that are going to trump the tests if you don't get off of them. So no protein powders, no supplements, just eat real food and eat a variety of food for those few days. So from here, you'll want to, from this video, go to each individual kit that you're taking for instructions, but this is just the general, every single kit looks like this, and get off supplements for 4 days prior to taking all these tests, and now go to click each individual kit that you're taking next for more instructions.